Today I wanted to show you how I make my salted caramel sauce. I will mostly use this in my salted caramel cakes as the filling. You can drizzle it on ice cream, have it with brownies, over cookies. It is a sauce, so you couldn't use it for something like millionaire shortbread because it's soft and it doesn't set firm. The recipe I follow isn't actually one of my own. It is by Cupcake Gemma. She has amazing recipes. This is a recipe I've been using for many years. I felt no need to come up with my own recipe just because I really enjoyed this one. However, I have made a few tweaks here and there. So let's get started. What you'll need is a giant saucepan, a spatula, a jar or a container. You could even use a bowl and cover it with cling film. For ingredients, I've got double cream, caster sugar, I use vanilla bean paste, and I've also got some sea salt flakes. I'm starting off by taking half a cup full of sugar. If you don't have cup measurements at home, because I usually work in grams, this is roughly 100 grams of sugar. I'm just pouring that into my saucepan. To the sugar, I'm then going to add 3 tablespoons of water. 2 and 3. Now what I'm going to do is measure out my cream and my vanilla, because once that caramel starts boiling, you need to work very, very quickly. So it just helps to have everything weighed out before. Measuring out half a cup full of cream. If you're working in grams, this is roughly 120 grams of cream, or if you're using milliliters, it's 120 milliliters. Add some vanilla bean paste. If you don't have vanilla bean paste, you can just use vanilla essence or extract. Vanilla bean paste just has a stronger taste to it, so that's why I prefer using that one. Take a teaspoonful and add that into my cream. Part to making caramel is boiling the sugar and water together, so I'm going to put this on a medium heat. I'm not going to touch this, I'm not going to stir it, do anything. I'm just going to leave it until it becomes a nice golden amber colour, and I'm going to show you exactly what that will look like. This has now been bubbling away for about 5 minutes, and as you can see, there's still no colour to it. That's totally normal. But at this point, the caramel is getting really hot, so please be careful not to get it on your skin or your clothes because it will really, really hurt. Now that it's beginning to colour, you do not want to take your eyes off this at all because it can go very, very quickly. Caramel's almost there, but it's still a little bit too light. This right here is the perfect colour, so I'm just going to add in my cream very, very slowly. If you aren't looking to make salted caramel, you can just leave it at this point right here. I am going to be adding in some sea salt flakes, so I'm literally just taking a pinch and I go by taste. I don't measure this out. This part is kind of all down to personal preference. I do recommend adding a small amount to begin with and adding to it gradually. If you add in one large amount and it's way too salty, you've ruined your whole caramel. Taking my jar and I'm just going to add in the caramel. Leave this on the side to cool down. Once it has cooled down slightly, then I will just leave it in the fridge. This will last you for a pretty long while as long as you just keep it in the fridge and you keep the lid on. I hope you found this video super helpful. Homemade caramel is such a good thing to just have in the house. I really recommend that you give this a try. I'm actually not done with the baking today. I'm now going to make some fudge cookies. Fingers crossed the recipe works well and you guys will have a fudge cookie recipe very soon.